The great hall of Mithila was empty, save for two figures. King Janaka sat on the floor, his jeweled crown placed casually on the silk carpet beside him. Opposite him sat the young sage Ashtavakra, his body bent in 8 places, yet his presence straight as a shaft of light. Janaka broke the silence, his voice tinged with a subtle restlessness. "Master, I have understood your words. I see that I am not the body, and I see that the body is but a process, like a river flowing within the banks of time. But when I sit on my throne, when the ministers argue and the subjects cry for justice, a forceful wave arises. It says, 'I am the king. I must fix this.' In that moment, the witness is lost, and the weight of the world crushes my shoulders. How does one rule a kingdom without becoming the king?" Ashtavakra smiled, a gesture that seemed to dissolve the very question. He did not speak immediately, letting the silence deepen, just as he had done before. "Janaka," Ashtavakra said softly, "you have taken off your crown and placed it on the floor. Does the floor feel the burden of the crown?" "No, master. The floor is lifeless matter." "Then tell me," Ashtavakra continued, his eyes piercing through the king's defense, "does the mirror feel the weight of the mountain it reflects?" Janaka paused. "No, the mirror reflects the mountain's vastness, its jagged peaks, its heavy stones, but the mirror itself carries no weight. It remains smooth and empty." "Precisely," Ashtavakra nodded. "You struggle because you believe you are holding the reflection. You believe the king is a solid entity that must carry the world. But look closely. This king who worries, who plans, who fears failure, is he not also just a reflection appearing in you?" "He is," Janaka admitted. "He is a bundle of thoughts, memories, and duties." "Then why do you claim him?" Ashtavakra's voice rose slightly, sharp as a diamond. "You say, 'I must fix this.' Who is this I? The body performs actions. The mind weighs decisions. The intellect judges right from wrong. These are all mechanisms of nature, functioning exactly as they should. The heart knows how to beat, the mind knows how to think, and the king role knows how to rule. Why do you intrude upon this perfect machinery with the ego's claim of, 'I did this'?" Janaka looked down at his hands. "If I do not claim it, will the ruling happen? Will justice be served if I am just a witness?" "Does the sun need to claim the day for the flowers to open?" Ashtavakra asked. "Does the sky need to command the clouds to move? When you claim the action, you create the doer, and the doer is always bound. The doer is born, suffers, and dies. But when you remain as the sky, allowing the storm of politics, the lightning of war, and the rain of mercy to happen within you, without saying, 'This is mine,' then the action is pure. It is swift. It is unburdened." Ashtavakra leaned forward. "Freedom, O king, is not fleeing to the forest to escape the throne. That is merely changing the scenery of your prison. Freedom is sitting on the throne, wearing the crown, issuing the commands, yet knowing fully that nothing is happening to you. You are the space in which the king rises and falls," the sage concluded. "Let the king rule. Let the body age. Let the world turn. You simply watch. When the action is finished, do not collect the residue of pride or regret. Be like the mirror when the mountain is moved away, instantly empty, instantly free." Janaka looked at the crown on the carpet. For the first time, he saw it not as a symbol of his duty, but as an object in a room, witnessed by a presence that had no name, no weight, and no kingdom. "I am the mirror," Janaka whispered, a smile touching his lips, "and the world is just a passing dance." Janaka picked up the crown. He turned it over in his hands, watching the sunlight play upon the gold. It was no longer a burden, but it was still an object of power, a symbol that commanded the lives of thousands. "Master," Janaka said, his brow furrowing slightly, "I see the truth of the mirror. Here in your presence, the silence is easy, but you will leave, and I will remain here amidst the noise of the court, the intrigues of the ministers, and the seduction of power. My fear is not that I am the body, but that I will forget I am the mirror. How does one ensure that this awakening lasts? How do I guard this freedom against the erosion of time?" Ashtavakra threw his head back and laughed, a dry, crackling sound like dry leaves dancing on stone. It was not a mocking laugh, but the laughter of one who sees a man searching for his glasses while wearing them. "Janaka," the sage said, his eyes narrowing, "you have dropped the chain of the body, but now you are forging a new chain. A golden chain, but a chain nonetheless. You are trying to turn freedom into a possession." "Is vigilance not required?" Janaka asked. "Vigilance against what?" Ashtavakra countered. "You ask how to make this last through time. But listen closely. Time is the thief you are inviting into the house." The sage shifted, his twisted limbs settling into the earth. "You are worried about tomorrow. You are worried about a future Janaka who might get lost. But does tomorrow exist? Has anyone ever touched tomorrow? When the sun rises, it will be now. When the ministers argue, it will be now. When you die, it will be now. You are trying to solve a problem that lives only in your imagination." "But the mind pulls," Janaka insisted. "The habits of the mind are old and deep like riverbeds." "Let them pull," Ashtavakra said, his voice dropping to a whisper. "You are making a mistake, O king. You believe that to be free, the mind must be silent. You believe that to be the witness, the scene must be calm. This is the final trap." Ashtavakra pointed a crooked finger toward the open window, where the sounds of the city drifted in, the clang of a blacksmith, the shout of a merchant, the barking of a dog. "Do you hear that dog barking?" "I do." "Does the hearing need to make an effort to hear it?" "No," Janaka said. "Sound arises, hearing happens." "Does the hearing judge the bark? Does the hearing say, 'I prefer the silence'?" "No, the hearing simply receives." "Be like that with your own mind," Ashtavakra commanded. "You ask, 'What if I forget?' Who is this I that can forget? The awareness never sleeps. It never forgets. It is the mind that forgets. The mind is a mechanism of memory and forgetfulness. Let the mind forget. Let the mind become confused. Let the mind feel fear." Janaka looked startled. "Let the mind feel fear?" "Yes." Ashtavakra struck the floor with his hand. "Freedom is not a mind without fear. Freedom is an awareness that is not afraid of the fear." "When fear arises," the sage continued, echoing the truths of the ancient texts, "do not say, 'I have fallen.' Do not say, 'I have lost the state.' That is just the ego trying to claim spiritual success. Instead, look at the fear. See it as a movement of energy. It rises, it swirls, it beats the heart faster, and if you do not touch it with the story of me, it dissolves back into the ocean." "You are not the guard of the castle, Janaka," Ashtavakra said, his voice softening. "You are the space in which the castle stands. Clouds gather, clouds disperse. If you try to hold the sky clear, you become the weather. If you simply watch, you remain the sky." Janaka closed his eyes. The anxiety of keeping the truth began to fade. He realized he was treating enlightenment like a fragile vase he had to carry through a crowded market. But Ashtavakra was showing him that he was not the carrier. He was the market, the vase, and the space they occupied. "So there is nothing to do," Janaka whispered. "There is nothing to do to be what you already are," Ashtavakra replied. "But the body will do. The king will rule. Decisions will be made. Swords may be drawn. Laws may be written. Let the puppet dance. The string is in the hands of the great nature. Why do you worry about the puppet's steps?" "Go back to your throne, Janaka," Ashtavakra said, closing his eyes as if the conversation were finished. "Sit there. When anger comes, bow to it as a passing guest. When pride comes, smile at it as a child's game. When confusion comes, let it be confused. You remain as the one who knows that he is not the one who knows." Janaka stood up. He placed the crown upon his head. It felt neither heavy nor light. It was simply there, just as the breath was there, just as the silence was there. "I am not the king," Janaka said to the empty air, "and yet the king rules." He bowed to the sage who was already resting in the vast, unmoving stillness, and walked out of the silent hall into the roaring noise of the world, which was now to him only another form of silence.